Things might get weird.
Yeah.
Welcome to our life.
Shorter. Welcome to another episode of the Hewlett House podcast.
You're not as low today. Try again.
No, thank you.
Fine.
It's Monday afternoon, Monday night, actually. It has been a day.
To say the least.
I've learned that if you tell a coach,
This
or
is
if
a news update.
you tell the city that you fought volunteering for like 2 weeks.
But they still needed people and
They
still
still needed people, still were asking.
Specifically for your child's grade.
I played football 7th through 10th grade, tackle football anyway.
Yeah.
We played flag football too. And I said, tell them I played football through junior high. I don't know anything. I'll help out. I'll be there more than I'll miss.
But you'll
And I'll help however they need.
Assistant.
I can help.
You would assist.
Did we say assistant?
Yeah. We said you didn't want to be a head coach.
I'll assist. John Stockton, this bad boy. And they wittingly called me the organizer / head coach. And frankly, that's what I am. I'm the biatch for the team. And honestly, I'm glad I did it. It's been a lot of fun.
The thing that we need to remember about Hayden is that if you give him a task and it's not one that he's had before, he has to make sure that he's adequately prepared in all facets of this. So how much did becoming head coach cost us, babe?
Are we really not getting paid for this? I'm just kidding.
He got books.
I don't know, a few $100.
He got clothes. He got new shoes.
Well, I used to wear shorts all the time. We knew this was
going to happen.
I lost some weight. I don't even know where it happened to my shorts. I don't really think they fit me. And the ones I have, anyway, I went and bought a bunch of athletic gear. It was cool.
He's going to look the part. He's going to know the part.
I'm definitely going to look like a head coach.
The best. The best to his abilities.
I wear a whistle around my neck.
Like a boss you do.
When I do warm-ups, I get to blow that whistle. Excuse me.
You don't blow it during your other practice things?
Yeah, but luckily I've got 2 guys there. The reason they're not head coaching is because they're coaching. I'm coaching 3rd and 4th grade. We need more boys. So if you got kids in Salem, come party with us. We've got like 16 kids on the team. 11 is a full team. Or your offense and defense, 11 kids on the field. So we're probably going to need to do some more conditioning to get these boys ready.
Yeah. But
it's been, luckily these guys are working with older teams and they've done it for years already. So I've just been having them, really we're starting from the basics of how do we do hitting. I'll run a warm-up and then we jump right into hitting drills to get the tempo up, but we're just having to teach them how do you hit low, keep your head up, wrap up. Eye to thigh. I learned that term this week. Eye to thigh. It's where you want to hit your opponent.
Like an injury waiting
They're all
to
about
happen.
No. It's the safest way because they can get down.
I guess it's not
or
a knee.
ear to hip on the inside hip. The hip closest to you is the hip you're going to hit and wrap up on. I'm just going to coach you guys on football for about 20 minutes here. Sorry.
So he's in it.
So then we're trying to line up our offense.
I love it.
And we want to go kick some ass this year, guys.
You're ready.
Really going to get out there and win some games.
You're going to do it.
I really hope so.
I'm ready for it.
The coaches we have are awesome. They've done an awesome job. So
yeah.
I don't know how we could have done any better. Today we had to get pads, or we had to switch out some stuff was
Jerseys
broken
and
get jerseys and.
I just to me, I was like, you could probably show up and let them run around what's that one? Little Giants type way and call it a day.
I left Alpine at 2:40, let's say.
Yeah.
I ran home, changed, ran to practice. I just got out of the shower. I had to send some messages on GroupMe, and here we are.
Yeah.
Took a shower.
Hayden doesn't have to do anything, so.
I mean, that's not fair to say. I probably half-ass several things, but I will whole-ass a couple things.
I love it. You're awesome. I'm glad you're having fun, though.
No, it's been a blast. It really has. I love it. It's kind of reignited I kind of had started giving up on pro sports in a way. I love football, and I love college football especially, and I love the pros. We'll go to a game here and there. I went to the Pro Bowl a year ago, and been to some really cool games. But yeah, it's kind of fun to look at the fundamentals and
It makes you appreciate it more. Like I remember going to
Yeah.
Jack's practices or understanding baseball a little bit better, and it was way more fun to watch. Once
Yeah,
you understand,
totally.
everybody had a job, and everybody wasn't just sitting there picking their nose at the
yeah,
base or in the outfield, whatever. Like you could see them and their brains working. Anyway,
yeah.
so that's
And
fun.
I'm hoping that it's more like not just herding cats because they are, man, there's so much they don't know, and it is like talking
But
to
they're like 8 and 9-year-olds, right? 8, 9, 10.
yeah, yeah. And so,
So-
but man, we just practice the same thing over and over and over
Yeah,
again,
yeah, yeah.
probably too, and we'll just keep doing that. Like wrap up, we'll do a lot of running the ball, probably not a lot of passing this year. It'll be good.
Don't give away your secrets.
They can know. I got a
Babe.
couple fast kids on the team, so that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
And we have some decent sized kids, but a lot of them are just these little guys. Most of them are little guys. Some of them are built pretty good, but there is one kid. We have one anomaly, and he's playing center. He's huge for his age. He's a giant. So
Boy,
anyway, we're thankful to have him on the team.
good.
Yeah, been a good time.
What movie did we go watch for date night?
Meg 2.
Yeah, how'd you like it?
I liked it.
Yeah,
It was entertaining.
it was good. It was one of
Not
those.
real at all, obviously.
Yeah. And there was a lot going on. There was like
A lot.
lots of sub parts to the story
Yep.
to make up a whole movie. Anyway,
Yeah.
but it made me definitely think, like, for sure, like I was anxious watching them go down into the ocean.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could scuba dive. I don't think I can do it.
You had a little bit of a panic attack when you had
When
your
I
chance.
tried to. I know, but like
At
that's
least
what
you
I'm
jumped
saying.
in the water
I,
with the gear and
I
you
went
were
in
just
there,
like,
I tried
man.
it, but watching that, I was almost just as anxious, and I was like, yeah.
If
maybe
we had
that's
more
not my
time, you would have
jam.
been able to go down.
Maybe,
To-
but
to be
it
hon-
kind of freaks me out.
Well, for me, even when I got down there and we had that rope we went down on, I hung on to that rope for a couple minutes.
You're talking about in Mexico when we went
Yeah.
to Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, and then once I let go, it was awesome. It actually was really cool to just
Yeah.
swim around, see the fish, and the water was a little murky, but
I think it would freak me out.
it gets
I think
cold
my
as you go
anxiety
down.
would not let it happen.
Yeah.
Be enjoyable.
Should I give my other confession? I have friends that are laughing at me.
Why? I'm concerned. What is your confession?
I have my first drum lessons tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, I think it's so awesome. Who was I
I'm
talking
like-
to? Oh, I told Ashley and Meg, and they were like, that's so cool. Good for him.
Who goes to drum lessons at 38 years old?
You do.
People in a midlife crisis. But you know what?
I think
it's
it'll be
something
awesome.
I remember trying to sign up for it in 7th
Oh,
grade.
yeah.
And they told us that there were so many kids, I think, that wanted to play the drums that
Yeah.
they said you had to have 2 years of piano. But I told a couple of buddies and we kind of joke about it and laugh. But I think honestly, they're just happy that I'm doing something that I
Yeah.
enjoy,
Yeah.
I just don't have that many hobbies. And I've always, in the back of my mind, the drums
Have always been there.
have always kind of been there. I'll sit and watch Danny Carey for Tool play the song Numa. If you're bored at home, pull that video up, go to the 5.5, 6 minute mark and watch that guy play the drums. It'll blow your freaking mind.
Yeah.
And I don't even understand how to play the drums, and just watching him is mesmerizing to me.
Yeah.
So anyway, I randomly met this guy on the phone about real estate stuff, and they were looking to build a house, yada yada, for their music stuff. Mm-hmm. They live here in Spanish Fork, and finally a year later, I reached out to his wife, who teaches them,
Yeah.
and I'm going tomorrow.
That'll be so cool.
I'll be late for practice because I already scheduled that, and
You're like, sorry, guys.
this is my hobby.
I got to have me now for
Yeah.
just a minute. And it's okay. It's totally fair.
I gave up on golf. Don't hate me, anybody, but I do not like golf
Yeah,
anymore.
we talked about that, huh?
Yeah, and so I'm kind of going. I
What do
love
I do?
movies. We go see movies, but I don't have a hobby that I go out and do. And I'm just thinking, hey, this could be cool.
I think it'll be sweet. I'm
Thanks.
excited for you.
Thanks for your moral support, dear.
I got you, boo.
You're so nice.
I know. Am I still nice if I say that I am nice?
Yeah,
Too? Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna get a sweet drum kit and put it in the room under our bedroom,
and he's gonna have headphones that go with it. It'll be great.
so I won't be able to hear how loud they are.
Yeah.
Our neighbors are gonna probably hear it. They're nice.
No, you're gonna have headphones. You're gonna have to plug into your drums so that nobody else can hear you play.
Electronic ones.
Sure.
I heard they have some cool ones.
Yeah.
They're just spendy. I may want to just start with a little cheaper drum kit till I get a hold of things.
Outside in the garage.
That's way louder outside. The neighbors will
but
for
not
sure
for
hear
me. in
We'll figure it out.
Casa.
We'll figure it out.
I still love
We'll
you.
see
You
there.
can
I'm
still
taking
do
my
it.
I'm taking our $50 drum pad and some drumsticks to my first drumming lesson
I
tomorrow.
love it. I think it's fantastic.
It'll be cool.
It's great.
We'll see if how long it lasts.
Will she laugh at you?
I
No.
I told her, I'm like, hey,
I have this drum pad.
I'm 38. She's sharp. I read her bio and everything. This lady's no dummy. I think she teaches at UVU. She's got her stuff together.
There you go.
So I've got a good teacher.
Yeah. That teaches adults.
And she was like,
All the
don't
time.
even worry about it. Come check it out. Come try it. Let's see how it goes. And I'm like, thank you so much.
Yeah, I remember I took guitar lessons. Like my first guitar lessons were in college, too.
Were they really?
Yeah. So you're an adult.
20 years ago?
I know, but still, as an adult, it wasn't
Yeah.
like I was like this.
Lots of people go to school for 10 years. They're called doctors.
Doctors.
Anyway, so I don't know. There could be a chance I end up famous
Probably.
in 20 years from now playing the drums.
Let's do it.
I'll sign autographs later.
Okay. So, well,
Did you anything
happy
else about
news.
Meg? Oh, happy news. Go for
let's
it. Let's
do
jump
happy
into
news. Let's do some of our different segments we've come up with.
I
Okay,
like.
so I know not everybody's a Taylor Swift fan, but I can't even, her tour. I just reading this article, I'm like, how much money did she make? Because some of the tickets, I mean, most of the tickets were over $1,000
It's crazy to me.
for like up in the nosebleeds, and how
Maybe I
many
need to
people
start
went to
listening
each
to
one.
T Swift.
So anyway, she gave bonuses totaling over $55 million to her crew,
Oh, that's cool.
to every person working on the massively successful Eras tour.
Wow.
I think she gave, I think it said like the bus drivers, I think I read somewhere else, not in this article, that she gave the bus drivers $100,000 bonus.
That's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
was like,
she
you
should have
know
gave
what?
him more, but whatever.
Well, but like
she was making
that
several million a show, right?
$100,000 is
It's a lot of money.
a lot of money.
She just wants him to not quit driving buses so she can.
Well,
keep him.
probably, but it was
That's
successful.
a lot of money. No, shout out. That's I know. You can't
Successfully
give all
done.
you can. That money can go fast too. We
You
get it.
know?
Good job, Taylor Swift. We're proud of you.
Okay,
When you listen to this, just know we're proud of you and
we are
grateful
proud of
for
you.
your
Congratulations, generosity.
generosity. An example.
Good job. Okay, so we joked around about doing a crazy Florida story segment.
Somebody did say no. We don't want to hear
Oh, did they?
crazy Florida.
But we
Instagram
did
poll.
have somebody say yes.
Several people said yes.
Yeah,
So
so
go for it. Let's
we're
hear
gonna
this.
start. We're gonna
this
start
happen?
if it gets, whatever. This was let's see, published August 7th.
All right. Well,
It's
today is
and
the
on
7th.
Fox News.
All right.
You ready?
Bring it on. Yeah.
As leprosy cases raise in Florida, what you must know about the infectious disease. What?
Leprosy's back.
It's back.
All right.
Back again. And like
And Jesus is coming soon
in Florida.
to heal us,
It
save our souls.
give us all the
Good hell.
Can you? I didn't tell Hayden on purpose just to see what shock factor it would cause.
Oh my gosh.
That leprosy cases are up.
I think I've heard. I've heard about this a little bit.
Yeah, it's been like a minute since it's been going on, but
They rise though.
they're on the rise. But did you know? When I was reading through this, the interesting facts that I learned is that you could have been infected for like 5 to 20 years before you actually see symptoms.
I had no idea.
Right?
Yeah.
And they said it's not as contagious as like the Bible says it is.
So
Or
they're
maybe it's
liars.
mainly because not necessarily they're liars, but like they just didn't know and they didn't, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Is there a
so-
cure for it?
it says that, I think it did say that it was pretty,
Treatable.
yeah, treatable. And
They're curing AIDS right now, pretty much, aren't they?
I don't know. I haven't read up on my AIDS
HIV. It's important you do.
facts. It's not spread by casual contact is what it was saying pretty much. Yeah. So anyway,
It's not spread by casual contact.
yeah.
So is it like an STD then?
Let's see. People cannot get it from shaking hands, hugging someone, or sitting next to someone for a meal. Prolonged close contact with someone with leprosy over many months is usually needed before one becomes infected.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's transmitted through
Did COVID cause
droplets
this?
from the nose and mouth, experts suggest. But most people, 95%, are naturally immune to the disease.
95% are
Yeah.
immune?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So, anyway.
I mean, that's still 5% of the population. Is a lot of people, kind of, but yeah.
Right. But anyway, I thought that would be a funny one. I mean, not funny.
Oh,
but
super funny. Yeah, get leprosy.
But something that would, like, shock you a little bit.
I was there. Have I told the story where I was there at the beach and some guy died on a bullet bike?
Yeah. That's what triggered this whole
The guy getting his
crazy.
face eaten off.
Yeah, bath salts.
I was there. Oh yeah, I talked about almost getting in a fight in the Subway sandwich shop.
Yeah, all of it. It's just all the craziest things that you're just like, why?
We worked with these big crowds of people with our seminar stuff, and they were interesting folk that popped in. But you know what? We're interesting folk. We're freaking weirdos.
Bring it on.
Exactly. I mean, you're a little more weird, but
obviously.
Don't eat your hair.
I wasn't. I had a little bubble in my throat, and I was just trying to hide it.
Just let it go, dude.
Okay.
Should we start burping in the mics?
No.
There's a comedian couple that does a podcast, and they'll just like full on belch.
Really?
Yeah. And I've heard other comedian guys do that too.
They just let it go.
Yeah. Oh, also,
I hope at least that they're like impressive ones. If they're gonna belch in the mic, at least make it worth it.
Yeah.
You know.
So my drum lessons I had planned on before I got involved in coaching.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to start a podcast. Well, we did one episode with some friends.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going to work. Good news, the market's down a little.
Things are a little slow.
Probably should go make some money. But it's
but at least you're going to have fun.
Yeah, the next couple months we'll make the most of this down economy. How's that? Rates are the worst they've been in 23 years.
Yay.
But you know what? The market's still hot.
But a lot of people are doing rate buy downs.
It's not
which is helpful.
Hot. This market sucks compared to what it's been, but yeah, it's probably down 20-30%.
Yeah.
Overall, with all this pricing and.
But that's boring. Let's get on to the cool stuff again.
All right.
Thanks.
Who needs money?
We do. But it's just boring.
Hi, this is Hayden Hewlett. Do you know anybody looking to buy or sell any real estate right now?
Please like and subscribe. Rate and review.
Oh, yeah. Will you rate and review us on here, please? 5 stars only. Thank you.
Babe.
Whoever did 5 stars on Spotify.
Yeah.
It's probably fair. I don't know even what it was, but our rating's not in there. Damn it.
Freaking Spotify.
They probably messed up. They didn't.
Probably. It was a slip of a finger. No doubt.
As soon as we have more listeners, that thing is going to boom up. Give a care. All right. Well, what else?
So let's talk about what we have this week is our last week of summer. And then we full swing back into school. Our kids start every 2 days. We will be at 4 different schools because things got changed up. So every child is in a different school this year.
Good hell.
And
yeah, I'm yawning.
That'll be great. And Hayden's already tired.
That's crazy. I'm looking forward to school for one reason.
Let me guess.
Go for it.
Scheduling.
You nailed it. You freaking nailed it.
We'll be on a schedule. I know. I'm really ready for that too. I think they are too. I think they're ready to interact with people other than each other too. So.
I gave up a month ago on trying to fight for a schedule. Or at least for a few weeks now. I'm just going, this is a nightmare.
Yeah. It's okay. Light at the end of the tunnel. I got my book. I got my planner, my physical planner with my block scheduling like we talked about.
This is not going to last.
It's going to work. Don't tell me no.
You've got a planner in your phone.
You're
plenty organized there. You have look at your calendar.
Look at
my mom. And so you're going to take everything from your calendar and put it on paper, and that's going to make everything easier?
Yeah, because it'll be like my to-do list, too. I don't put my to-do list on
Put it in your notes on your phone. That's what I do.
I know I put it in my notes, but then I'll be like, during this time frame, these are the things I have to do.
Just put them in your calendar or in the notes. when that thing pops up, it's every day during this
You
time I
don't
need to do
even
this. Then you look at your
understand.
calendar, you push on it and say, okay.
You don't even understand me.
I'm trying to help you simplify. I've been here before. I did this. I've done this.
Anyway,
I've
I'm
gone
really
back and
excited
I went
about
back
my
and forth for
planner.
years and finally just went to a computer.
I'm so excited
finally
about my
went
planner. Can you
digital.
be excited for me?
No.
Okay.
How much was your planner?
Cheaper than the amount that you spent on one pair of shorts for football.
$12 was the cheapest pair of shorts I bought.
Really?
Yeah. How much was your planner?
More than that.
How much was it?
I think it was like $30.
Oh my hell.
For a planner?
Yeah.
It's a 6-month planner.
So it doesn't even last a year? You're shitting me right now. We need to restart this. I know what our topic for the day is. You bought a planner that doesn't even last 12 months.
Books?
So that thing's going to last.
How much were your books?
Not that much.
How much were they?
I bought 4 football books that were needed for educating these young children.
Yeah. Okay.
Friend of mine.
Get it, Poppy.
Thanks, Johnny.
Can you please just support me in my journey here of trying to better myself?
I support you.
Thank you, sir.
Shook her hand.
Thank you, sir. Okay, let's get on topic because we got to go pick up Jack here soon.
Oh, yeah. It's almost 9 o'clock.
Ready? Yeah, we still have just a minute.
Okay.
Break.
Who's
Okay.
that under my TV? It's
So,
me.
so best of Will Ferrell, you got to see it. Anyway, so we go back to school here soon. So we thought it would be fun to do a back to school mock-up episode. You ready?
Yes.
I have some questions for you about you in school.
All right.
Okay. So, favorite teacher. Who was your favorite teacher and why?
Mrs. Costner. Nope. Coster.
And
Kevin
what?
Costner.
Oh, gosh. What grade was that?
4th grade.
Okay. Why was she your
I
favorite?
had several really good teachers.
But she's the first one that comes to mind. So why
Yeah.
is she favorite, you think?
And Mrs. Hopkins in 2nd grade. They were just
Okay.
really nice ladies to me during a hard time in my
Yeah.
life. I think transition from parents getting divorced, and they were just really, we clicked, and they were really awesome to me.
Just like solid.
I actually ran into Mrs. Hopkins a few years ago, 2-3 years ago, over here in our local grocery store.
Oh,
And
yeah,
said
I
hi to
think
her,
you
and she
said that.
totally remembered me.
Like, how do they do that?
Because I was a freaking traumatized 7-year-old. That's how she remembered
She's
me.
like, oh, yes,
Yeah,
this
you're
poor
the-
child.
You're the kid that's parents got divorced, and we're dealing with your mom.
You were
getting
the
remarried.
only one that had that happen?
I remember
in all those years?
my mom got remarried, and my Aunt Linda, I called her because I was quote unquote sick.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like she remembered me like struggling with it.
Oh,
But Coster was awesome too. She was really cool.
yeah.
She was awesome, just a fun 4th grade teacher. I had a really good teacher, Mr. Wimmer, in 6th grade. I remember the biggest thing I learned in his class was we learned fractions and all that good stuff. But then he was just a cool guy, and he just, I remember him always saying, if you do anything in life, always remember to be a finisher. And I thought, that's a really good lesson, you know?
Cute. Yeah.
And yeah,
I think
junior high and high
elementary
school is cool. Just a lot of different teachers all the time, you know?
Yeah, I think in elementary school, my favorite his name was Mr. Vance. He was this old, cute, nice, happy guy. And the quote that I remember when you were saying that he had a quote for you, that's what I remembered. He would always say, clear as mud.
Clear as mud.
Yeah, he would explain something and be like, clear as mud. And we're like, yep, got it. It was cute.
Cute.
But I really liked him. He was really nice. And then in secondary schooling, so high school, my favorite was Coach Henry. Actually, Phillips was cool too. Did you ever have him for Film Lit?
I can't remember.
I just think that they were like
Was he the guy that did announcements in that?
Redhead dude.
Oh, no. I never had him.
He was really cool. I think that it's just like, to me, a good teacher just tried to connect with you on something other than just your subject, right?
Yeah.
So like Mr. Phillips, it was in Film Lit, and we went in there and like we didn't finish a movie or something. He's like, oh, come back in during lunch. You can finish the movie, whatever. And so we would come back in and watch, and he was just fun and personable. Coach Henry, though, he became like a second grandpa or third grandpa to me. Like he was really awesome.
He had a ton of kids that liked him. He coached wrestling at PG, right?
Yeah.
He just passed away a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
Yeah, so he coached wrestling and did driver's ed, and he had me be his TA for a couple of years. And he'd always bring me every morning because I TA'd first period, Every morning he'd bring me donuts, and like the packaged of crumbled donuts or powdered if they didn't have crumbled, and then would get me a chocolate milk every day.
What a nice guy.
And he's so sweet.
Didn't he drink coffee and was a state president?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought you told me that.
We don't want to out anybody here.
Who cares? He's gone now. No one cares. He's not going to hell for coffee. And if you're LDS, I think people are going to hell for coffee. I think you're wrong. Boom. Said it. Do you remember the time we were in primary and some little girl, they were talking about the word of wisdom? This is when we were like all in too. She,
What happened? Why don't I remember?
I swear you were there.
Okay, go. What'd she say?
They were talking about how we don't drink caffeine and hot teas and coffee and yada yada. And some little girl, she was so cute. She raised her hand and said, "My dad drinks coffee, but he doesn't put any sugar in it."
Oh yeah, because
And
they
I
were saying
said, "That's good enough for me."
that's true.
Something like that.
Yeah,
And
that was here
and
in Salem.
Yeah,
That's
and I think
right.
the lady teaching it looked at me like,
Because they
I'm
were
like, it's
explaining,
whatever, who
they're
cares?
like, oh, but then you put so much crap in it, and then it's unhealthy and blah blah blah, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so she's like, but he doesn't put any sugar in.
Yeah. So, right? It was something like that.
Yes, I remember now. Yeah, that was awesome. I was thinking like when we taught, and that was like years ago when you and I taught together, like when we were first married.
Yeah.
That's when I was trying. I'm like, wait, what happened when?
And honestly, I
Anyway.
wouldn't be surprised if it was the non-caffeine stuff that he
Like
drank.
a decaf
Unless you
coffee?
knew for sure it was actual coffee. But
I don't know. Or what's the
I think
what's
my
the one
grandpa
that's
was
like
a bishop in
not
Salt
coffee
Lake.
coffee that people would.
I can't remember. We used to drink it in our mission, or that was there. I
Yeah.
didn't drink it really. I'm pretty sure one of my grandpas was a bishop in Salt Lake and drank coffee.
Yeah.
And he might
Anyway.
have snuck a drink once in a while.
Anyway, we're not here to out
In the
anybody.
olden days.
But anyway, so Coach Henry was awesome, and he had me like help him. He would run state wrestling tournament, and he'd have me come help him with like the scoreboards and everything too. So anyway, I spent a lot of good time with him. Oh my gosh, my story with him though. So he was my driver's ed teacher. I think this is when he started to like me. But he was my driver's ed teacher, and we go to get on the freeway for my very first time getting on the freeway. Very first, okay?
Yeah.
We go to get on the freeway, and he's like, "What would you do if I put my hands over your eyes?" And I looked at him and I said, "I will hit you." And he's like, "Oh, okay," and starts giggling or whatever. He proceeds, I'm on the entrance,
Yeah.
and there's semi trucks in the far right lane. So like I have to merge with these semi trucks, okay? Very first time getting on the freeway again. Remember, don't forget that fact. Anyway, he puts his hands over my eyes. I reached over and smacked him right in the chest. And he's like, "You hit me." And I said, "I told you I would."
Yeah, you hit hard. That was rude.
Well, listen, he shouldn't have.
It was his life at risk, too.
Well, obviously, I actually got the best score he'd ever given a girl.
I like it. Maybe he liked you more than just as being his TA. But you know what? It helped you pass, and you drive
Whatever.
just fine. He was my driver's ed teacher, too,
Yeah.
but then Jorgensen was my guy in the car. He was cool.
Oh.
You didn't-
He'd always say, too, he'd say, "Do you have an S on your chest? Then you better be watching what you're doing." Or like, because you're not Superman. You're not invincible. And so one time we brought tape. Because you sit in the back seat and while the other person drives for whatever. And we taped S's on our chest. So that we could be like, yes, we do. We do have an S on our chest. We're just dumb teenage kids. We
So
thought we were
funny.
funny. Anyway, favorite teacher. Okay, how about, do you have an
Hold
embarrassing?
on, I remembered one more.
Oh, we'll go.
Mr. Light at American Fork Junior High.
Yeah?
He passed away a few years ago, too, I think. He had fought in Vietnam, and he would tell the coolest stories in class about... He was really strict, but everybody was really good in his class because when he got mad, he got really mad and would slam the door and stuff. But
Yeah.
he was so cool.
Yeah.
He always had the best stories and had a really good way of teaching history and
Oh, cool.
kind of making it come alive for you.
Yeah.
That's actually, I think, why I really enjoyed history, too. But
Yeah. I didn't have that in history. I can't even tell you who my history teacher was. I had a bad teacher that I was helping all of the football players with their homework.
Yeah.
And we did this huge project. And it was like an AP, I think it was AP statistics, okay? So I didn't really understand it, to be fair. I didn't really understand it like super well. I was pretty good at math, but it still kind of was tricky to me. So anyway, I was helping like all these football players with like their projects in like study hall or something. We get into class, they all get excellent scores on their project, and I got a big fat F. And then I had questions I hadn't figured out. I had a question on what was happening in a certain topic we were going over.
Yeah.
So I raised my hand, and she makes eye contact with me and looks away and does not ask or like let me ask a question.
You're kidding.
And I immediately withdrew from that class. I'm like, how do I learn in a classroom where she's not allowing me to learn? And I like literally have no idea why she
didn't like you.
Not even one lick. So anyway, that was my bad teacher experience.
I had one in college. Ryan and Sam were in the class with me. It was a PE class we did after. They never went.
Yeah.
And I remember I wrote a paper and I barely changed it up and turn it in for them too. I'm like, I already wrote this. Do you want me to just change a couple sentences and turn it in? I didn't even change it that much. That dude gave them a better score because he liked him from high school. He was a high school teacher. He gave them a better score on it than he gave me by like half a grade. I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
I'm like, I actually come to your class, dude. I actually ran your stupid mile.
Why couldn't we be more popular?
Seriously, he's a part of my life right here.
Okay, do you have any embarrassing school stories?
Oh, I guarantee it.
Do you
Some
need
of them
a minute?
probably can't be said on here.
I remember one time for me. I'll start first so you can think.
I know I've got to have some. They're probably buried deep and locked away. I can't. I know for sure.
Well, this one's not like crazy, but it was, I was climbing over the fence, and you weren't supposed to do that. Like you got in trouble for climbing over the fence, but I didn't want to go all the way around. So I was climbing over the fence, top the fence to get into the schoolyard. And, the janitor was like, hey, get off the fence. And so I like freaked out and like went to jump, and my pants got stuck. So I'm like hanging like by my pants on the top of the fence.
You were hanging on it?
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, and I like got up and got off, whatever. And I was like, oh, geez, that was so embarrassing. And like ran in. And then we're sitting.
How old are you?
This is probably 3rd or 4th grade. Probably 3rd. So anyway, we're sitting there. We go to Crisscross Applesauce as, to do reading time or something. I don't know. And I look down, and I have a huge hole ripped in the back of my pants. And I'd been like that for all morning. Didn't even realize it.
I got a hole in mine once going to school in high school. There was this shortcut to Lone Peak from where we lived.
Yeah.
In the country club.
Yeah.
And someone had a slide that went right down the hill. So sometimes we just jump on it, or I would, and just take it down the hill.
Yeah.
And then it would kind of drop you off. I think on the country club golf course, we would kind of cross that.
Okay.
And I remember getting home later that day and finding like a huge hole in like the back of my shorts. I'm like, nobody said anything about this shit?
I know, exactly. That's what I thought. And I'm like, really? Because they were just like cotton shorts. And so they just...
My butt crack hanging out.
All day.
All day. It's kind of the style back then, maybe, though. Man, I know other stuff.
Do you have
There
any
has
other
to
ones?
be more. For sure. Oh, when Drew pantsed me the first date we went on. After
That wasn't technically in school, but yeah.
My junk and everything was out at that time.
And I didn't see it, though.
I should have punched him in the mouth.
Right in the mouth.
But it was kind of funny in his defense. But holy crap, I would have been traumatized.
If I would have seen anything.
Oh, you would have never hung out with me again. Like, you just ruined my marriage.
My whole life.
My whole marriage right here. Poor Jessica, $1 at 16. Are you kidding?
Oh my gosh.
Or 17. You're 16.
Nothing.
Huh?
I knew nothing.
Like that's what it looks
never,
like.
Never. I would have.
Oh my gosh.
What? It's true. True story. Can you think of any other ones?
Man.
I remember this poor child that would like literally always pee his pants. Probably 3rd, 4th grade.
The Down syndrome kid?
No.
Oh, there was a Down
Fully
syndrome one
functioning.
that would poop his pants once in a while.
Oh.
Poor guy.
Yeah, he like, I remember him like leaning over the bookshelf table. Like we had a table like this, and then on the back corner, she set up books in a cute way. And he leaned over to get a book and like peed all over the table. It's like, oh.
Did you ever wet your pants at school?
No.
Were you a bedwetter?
No. I remember one time, because my brothers were. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Out of you.
Rude, all of them?
I don't know if all of them. I just remember my brothers being bedwetters, and I never had.
Your poor parents.
I never had.
Can you imagine if our kids wet the bed all the time?
Oh, gosh, no.
I would scream every morning.
Yeah, no. So I just remember one time I woke up because I needed to go to the bathroom, but I was like, what's it like? Like, what is it like? So I did. I wet the bed.
You laid in your bed and peed in your
Yeah,
pants?
I didn't like it. I never did it again. And my mom was like, what the freaking crap? Like, you don't. She didn't say that. Laura would never say that. But she's like, you never wet the bed. Why did you wet it? What just happened? And I was like, I don't know. I'm sorry. Maybe I had a bad dream, or I don't know. Gave me
You
some
lied to
excuse.
your mother?
Probably. I don't
sorry,
actually
Laura.
remember how that went down, but I just remember her being like, you don't ever wet the bed. And I was like, I know. And I did. But I did it on purpose. Sorry.
Well, at least you didn't pee in the theater room floor or pee in a garbage can or pee down the vent like our son
That's fine.
has.
Next.
No, don't say that's fine.
Next.
Taft.
We're not here for
Stop
that.
pissing all over the house. For hell's sake.
It's been a long time since that happened.
A year?
Yeah, that's a long time. He's only 8.
It's been a year between each one. Let's have a good year this year and keep him off of it.
He's killing it.
Stop pissing everywhere. Sorry.
Okay.
Peeing.
Do you remember, like, in school ever having...
Hold
like
on, I have another funny story.
Oh, you got one. Good.
This wasn't me.
Okay.
But I was at work with, I won't say his name, but I was at work with a good buddy. He was hilarious. We had a good time working. We did electrical work outside. We were in Provo. It
Oh
was
my
raining.
gosh.
It was freezing cold. And he's like, how much do you give me? Or do you dare me to pee my pants? Or how much do you dare me to pee my pants? I'm like, I don't know, $5. I don't even know if I offered him money. He's like, I'll just do it. I'm like, are you seriously going to pee your pants? He sat there and peed his pants on the sidewalk in Provo on Stage Street down there.
That makes no sense.
And we laughed and laughed and laughed because it was so cold, steam was coming off of his pants.
Off of his pants? Are you
Yes.
kidding me right now?
And then not long before or after that, he goes, how much would you give me to eat this worm? I'm all $5. He just took this big old
he
long
just had
worm.
like these weird fetishes
So-
that he really wanted
and he
to
was
do.
such
he
a
was
stud,
like,
such a
no,
good
he
dude,
really was
such a good
kid.
guy,
I
such
know
a
exactly
good kid.
who you're talking about.
But he ate a worm and peed his pants.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, boys.
Boys.
All right, what was your other question?
Okay,
Sorry.
so last question. I remember vividly a coveted item that when we would do back to school shopping, I always wanted this one thing, but never ever got it.
Jinkos.
Oh, really?
No, I don't know what.
Mine
asking
was
me?
Yes. Did you ever have one?
Oh, I'm sure.
Mine, I remember wanting the big pack of crayons that had the sharpener in the back.
Oh, and you didn't get it?
Nope.
That's some bull crap.
Yep. Or like the smelly markers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because there were just more. I mean, there was 1.5 million of my siblings. Like, we can't afford to give everybody all that. You know what I mean?
I remember really wanting Jinko jeans, and my
Yeah.
mom was like, "I'm not letting you wear those," and they're like $100.
Were they?
No, they were expensive. Yeah,
Yeah.
and $100 back then, even then for clothes and stuff was expensive. You know,
Yeah.
even for like normal people, I think.
Yeah. I think.
I talk like
It
it
is a
was
lot.
really bad, but our childhood was fine.
Yeah.
It was really fine. We're fine.
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Right, Mom?
Oh my gosh.
We have
so
to joke
funny.
and have some fun.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm glad she didn't let me get those damn jeans. They're embarrassing.
Well, I remember B had a pair of like baggy pants like that, and my dad hated them because his butt was always hanging out. And so
Brandon kind of dressed like a rapper in high school.
yeah. So he'd wear
He always
like
had, like, a
Echo.
gold chain and-
Yeah, he had his rhino gold, like I think it was silver, but yeah, chain. Anyway, I remember him giving my dad his jeans for his birthday, like so he wouldn't wear them anymore.
Oh.
That was my dad's gift.
Like before his mission or what?
Probably, I don't know.
Dad, I'm going on a mission now, so I'm not going to need these
You
anymore.
could have these
Happy
jeans.
birthday. Did your dad ever wear them?
No, he just didn't want Brandon wearing them.
That's pretty funny.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
But yeah, I
B.
totally had it. Yeah. Love you, B. He had a pair of Jinkos. I guarantee.
Laura Dollar let Brandon have
Yeah.
Jinkos? Mom, why didn't you let me get Jinkos? Brandon had them.
I'm pretty sure I had a pair
Had some.
too, but I think that was like on the way out that I ended up getting them because they weren't that expensive. Or maybe mine were knockoffs. I still have the patch. The like jean pocket patch out there. I should go see.
Not all of them were crazy huge with the giant
Yeah.
pockets. Some of them were a little more reasonable, but yeah.
Yeah.
They were definitely
They're coming
fad.
back.
Yeah, corduroys apparently.
Oh my gosh.
The
The
coolest-
wide leg corduroys. And yeah, we've been school shopping, babe, and it's all coming back.
It's crazy.
I know.
I thought it was just me, but I felt like I haven't been able to find a pair of Nikes that I really love for a long time. So I've just been buying Vans and stuff. And another friend of mine, I finally found some when we went to Zoomies the other day that I thought were pretty cool. So I ordered a couple pairs from my coaching abilities. It really helps me
Help him coach.
be a good coach.
Do you run faster?
Yeah.
Oh
Think
my
about
gosh,
it.
they do?
Think about it.
You run faster.
Air Jordan.
We should test it out in the store. Did you test it out in the store?
Of course I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
Sorry. You missed it then.
Should have
But-
recorded it.
But they actually had some pretty cool Nikes, so I grabbed a couple pair.
I think that the style of them are good, but they're not comfortable to me.
I will tell you that I run in Hoka's. The
Those are your
best shoe
favorite.
on the freaking planet are Hoka's for
They
running.
like blew out my knee.
I think it's you.
Probably me.
It wouldn't be the Hoka's.
For sure, it's not. I ended up giving them to Ashley because every time that I wore them, my knee would hurt worse.
I'm sorry.
So,
Maybe you have crooked legs or something.
probably.
But I had a podiatrist one time actually tell me that Nike shoes have made him a lot of money.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
I just use mine as like,
For running anyway, and that.
yeah, I
He
don't
didn't
use
seem
mine
to
for
be too
running.
hip on Nikes,
That's funny.
right?
Me? I didn't?
He
he
told me
didn't.
that, and that's interesting.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. You
Amen.
said it right. So, like,
You said something. You said interesting. What did you say? And I said it right. I thought you were talking about that.
Oh, yeah. Interesting, right. I just
Right.
use mine for, like, light stuff. Just, like, walking. If I'm walking far. I
Does
have,
your
like,
knee
the
hurt?
Air Maxes or something.
You need to run the proper way too.
Oh,
I didn't
I was
realize until I got
trying.
into it that I wasn't really running the proper
yeah. I was
way.
like hill striking, and then I tried to switch up to run, not like flat footed, but more in the center, and more in the center. And then I was trying to run on my toes, and anyway, I got all jacked up. But that's not what this was. That's not here or there.
Neither here or there.
Neither here or there. But I love my. Are they Air Maxes? The ones that I got with the little leopard swoop.
I think so.
Shocker, leopard. I love them. I get complimented like every time I wear them.
It reminds me of like butt rock bands from the 80s and 90s.
My shoes?
Leopard.
Oh, leopard print.
I think that's what it actually reminds me of. So it's a little ghetto, a little.
You like it?
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Sure.
Anyway, but yeah, I got a couple pair of those. I got a pair for the wedding too, but I ended up giving Maddie so that she can have a decent pair of shoes.
Speaking of butt rock, have we talked about our tickets we got to go to Tool?
I think so.
Have we talked about it?
I don't know, but
haven't officially
yeah, for your
transferred, but I
birthday,
think they're
you
supposed
made
to
fun of me
transfer over.
because I was like, it was for your birthday, and you're like, yeah, I bought them or something.
Or Father's Day or something.
Yeah, it was all of the things.
Yeah.
You're welcome, and I'm going with you.
Props, dude.
So,
Props. We'll
I
have a
know.
good time.
It'll be fun. Anyway, any other school stories you want to leave us off with?
Man, I need to think through some. I'm sure I've got plenty. Some I probably should wait to tell till our kids are out of the house and have their own children or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So they don't give excuses. Well, you did the same thing. Is that what
Yeah.
you mean?
Mm-hmm. I remember we would sneak in. I think Sandy told this story, so they know this one. But I'd sneak out. Back up.
Rewind.
We would go out with friends. And one of my buddies, somehow a few of my buddies found out how to get into the school
Oh, yeah.
in the middle of the night. And we went in. We dropped in on the catwalk at the school in the
In the
auditorium.
theater.
In the auditorium.
Yeah.
lowered the screen, and I think we watched Crocodile Dundee in the auditorium for a little while. This is a true story too, by the way. And I still wonder if one of our friends was playing around with us. But cell phones, not everybody had a cell phone back then. And we were dicking around at the candy machine. Mm-hmm. I might have had my hand in there trying to grab my Granny B's sugar cookie.
Gosh, you loved those. I remember you loved those.
I did love those. I still love them. There was a payphone right by those. Yeah. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, and the freaking phone started ringing next to me. And I thought, someone knows we're freaking here. And I asked everybody, I'm like, did one of you guys call? There's only a few of us, a handful of us tops.
Me out.
I'm like, how did this phone just ring?
Or like wrong number or something.
At 1 or 2 in the morning?
Sure.
Anyway, we got out of there. We went running away.
Did you?
We had to scale the side of the school and jump on the roof.
Oh my gosh.
To get in, and I think we just went out one of the doors to get out.
You're like, well, gone. It was, it was just like you push, you can leave. But it locks behind you. Like a church door?
Yeah.
Got it.
And there's a story of when Brandon, Andre, and Brandon kind of brought this up on our podcast with them. But we sprayed the field at AF and got caught by the cops.
Oh, yeah.
My dad wasn't too happy about that.
You didn't end up successfully spraying it, did you?
I got out to the middle of the field with the weed killer, which is so dumb because the game was the next night. No, it wouldn't have died till weeks later.
Yeah.
We should have just taken spray paint. It would have been better.
Yeah.
Because for the grass, they could have just painted over it and been fine. As soon as I got to the middle of the field, a cop was in the parking lot about 100 yards away, and Brandon and I just took off running, hid by a tree. It took him about 20 minutes to circle the field and find us. I almost scaled the tree. It was at the end of this cul-de-sac. I almost scaled this tree, but as soon as I went to go climb it, we were surrounded by cops all around us, but they couldn't see us because we laid right down by the fence, and the cop got to us and he said, "Why don't you guys? I need you guys to stand up." And we just laid there for about 30 seconds, or it felt like forever. But it was probably 10 seconds. I'm like, he doesn't see me. Yeah, he can't see me.
If I close my eyes,
he can't see me.
If I can't see you, you can't see me.
We stood up and walked out. As we walked around the corner, I am not kidding you, there were at least 10 cops there.
Oh, gosh.
It was probably the funnest time of their whole night.
Yeah.
Now Johnny's brother is one of the head detectives over there. It's pretty funny.
Chief of police.
They were really cool about it. I'll finish with this since I've already told it now.
Okay.
I looked the cops in the face and he goes, "Hey, we're just going to call your parents. We'll have them come get you." We parked Brandon and Andre's car behind that little Catholic church or whatever that's right next to the AF high school. So they spotted his car right away because it's the only car in the parking lot.
Right.
They were running plate addresses, I think, all over trying to see who it could have been.
Yeah.
Whose car didn't belong here, right? And I confirmed this actually in the past couple of months with him. He actually did get permission from his parents to do that. I saw him at the Parade of Homes. And I looked at the cops and I go, "You may just want to take us in." I'm like, "I don't really want you to call my dad right now." I just knew Huey was going to be pissed. And oh my hell, I would have acted the same way if I had showed up to pick up my son for this. And I probably would have actually hurt him. He was kind and he didn't hit me. Thanks, Dad.
Because there were police officers there.
No. I told the cop, before he got there, let me just tell you something. When he gets here, he's going to be very mad. He's going to be really ticked. So just be ready. And he goes, "Oh, we've dealt with parents before. This is no big deal. We got this." Yeah. And I go, "I don't think you understand." I was seriously telling the cops this. I'm like, he's going to be really mad when he gets here. And I don't think I can repeat what he said.
Your dad.
When he showed up. And the cops, but just before that, I go, "What's considered abuse?" And he's like, "Well, if he hits you with an open hand, it's pretty okay." And I'm like, "Oh, all right. So as long as he didn't punch me in the face, I'm good." Like, what the hell? And he's like, my dad shows up and is like, "What the freaking heck are you doing?" Blah, blah, blah. They woke him up. And the cops immediately went to my defense. That's how pissed he was. And they go, "Oh, your son, he's a great kid. They're just doing dumb stuff." And I remember one of the cops telling us that his son got in trouble for shooting pigeons under the overpass somewhere in AF. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? At least I'm not out with a gun shooting birds in the freaking on the road." Mm-hmm. And of course, I'm like justifying how good I am because I snuck out of the house to go do stupid crap. But anyway, he's like, That weed killer, he still thinks to this day that I didn't even put weed killer in it. I'm pretty sure it was weed killer I got in it. He thinks I put fertilizer in it.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like, that was so funny because he didn't even have weed killer in it. And the weed sprayer that you had was pretty much broken. It didn't hardly work anyway.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. He picked me up, and that was that night.
Thanks, cops.
Thanks, AF cops. You guys were cool to me.
Getting your back.
Shout out. They went from being like, we got this, it's not a big deal, we'll handle it, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't get it.
I don't think you understand.
You don't get it. I'm like, okay, all right, we'll see.
Cool.
5 minutes later, he pulls up in his truck. He just like, freaking Andre still remembers it.
Sad.
Pretty funny. Not sad. I deserved it.
Anyway.
I love you, Dad.
Well.
I love you, Daddy. All right.
Thanks, babe. That was fun.
You're fun.
Happy back to school.
Happy day.
Woo! Back
you.
to schedules. Woo!
Woo!
Love you most.